The Warden Queen Charge is a new starter that entirely replaces the Royal Champion as a faster and safer alternative. So let's give you an introduction to it, the best equipment to run, and which strategies benefit the most from using it. First things first, the Warden Queen Charge is one charge, using the Archer Queen with healers and the support from the Grand Warden. The aim is to clear out defenses from a particular area, similar to a Royal Champion charge, before being recalled to be used within the main portion of your army. In order for the Queen to charge into defenses, she will need the Angry Jelly, which forces any hero to become defense targeting for a limited amount of time. Any level of Angry Jelly will work, as you mainly want its effect, but you can also use this without the Angry Jelly if you are between Town Hall 13 and Town Hall 15. But you will need to funnel, since the Queen will target anything rather than just defenses. You'll also want pets that don't cost housing space to recall, such as the Phoenix and Sneezy, and by extent the Angry Jelly, but you can also use pets like Lassie or the Electro Owl, which can die quite easily, giving you enough space to recall your heroes and healers. But I also recall using my creator code CORRUPT is a great way to support me and the channel. As for hero levels, as long as you have the previous Town Hall's max level, you should be fine to use this starter. Hero equipment, on the other hand, is vastly different, as both the Archer Queen and Grand Warden have a plethora of equipment to choose from depending on the strategy and preference. For the Grand Warden, he will always want to have the Rage Gem equipped, mainly due to the Rage Gem's properties of buffing the damage of anything underneath it, though heroes, like the Archer Queen, only get half of that buff. However, it will also buff healers' healing output of both the regular healing and hero healing, which is able to keep the Queen alive so long as she's not taking too much damage. As for what to pair it with, it will depend on the army you're using. If you're using an army like Throwers, you do have the choice of running the Life Gem, as its HP boost is super good with Throwers who benefit from the additional HP. If you're using smash attacks like Super Yetis, the Eternal Tome fits pretty well to protect your units with its invulnerability. But if you're using something like Root Riders, using the Eternal Tome is not a bad choice, unless you're using 2 Overgrowth spells, in which the Healing Tome becomes a much better choice thanks to its healing and long duration, while also being able to keep the healers safe. As for the Archer Queen, her equipment are less strategy dependent and can use any of her best equipment, which include her action figure, healer puppets, and magic mirror in any combination. Keep in mind, these abilities will not be used during the charge and are strictly for inside the base after being recalled back. This enables you to have plenty of momentum into the base after using her to set up funneling for your attack. Now, when using this charge, you want to start it from a corner of the base, which will enable you to clear a decent chunk as you move between buildings. But you will want to first start by using a tank in front of your Queen. This could be an Ice Golem, Super Giant, but ideally it's to protect the Queen as you set up the charge. Follows up with your Archer Queen, healers, and the Warden to start the charge. If you lack the Angry Jelly on the Queen, be sure to set up funneling beforehand with troops like Super Barbarians or Baby Dragons so she goes in the right direction. Another ideal thing to do here is to use your balloons before using your healers. Seeking air mines and red air bombs can cause plenty of issues, especially if someone tries to bait you. So avoid all of that by using a few balloons to soak up traps. While you are charging into the base, you have the main option of using invisibility spells, which should cover the Queen, Warden, and healers to protect them from defenses. Since the Queen will do more damage than a Royal Champion, she is able to get away with using 4 or less invisibility spells to keep herself and the Warden alive. No other spells are needed, as you want to quickly set up funneling and quickly recall them out once you've used all of your invisibility spells or enough value has been achieved by the charge. But you want to make sure that you can get enough value while also setting up proper pathing, no matter if you have the Angry Jelly or not. Speaking of which, let's show you how to use this with and without the Angry Jelly to help you use and improve this charge. Now, if you don't have access to the Angry Jelly, then you do need to actively set control with funneling, So super barbarians are a great way in order to set up funneling, so you can use your archer queen, warden, 4 healers, and possibly a few balloons in order to look for seeking air mines early on. In this case, you do want to take super wall breakers if there are closed compartments, so don't be afraid to do that. But you do want to make sure that you are using barbarians in order to help clear out a nice funnel so your queen can work in with the warden, and underneath the rage gem will do more damage and will stay protected underneath the invisibility spell. Other than this, you should for the most part be able to clear plenty of defenses while remaining alive. Even if you don't cover everything, like your healers included, you should be completely fine unless you're out of range of an air defense. Otherwise, you just want to make sure that you're able to keep everything moving and protected so you can then recall the entire charge back to your army. This then allows you to basically smash through with something like Electro Titans, while maybe on the other side you've got the Royal Champion to clear the back end of the base. Now, if you do have access to the Angry Jelly, you have a few more options. Namely, you can easily use an Ice Golem, a Golem, or whatever with your Archer Queen, 4 healers, and of course the Grand Warden, also using a few balloons in order to look for any seeking air mines. Other than this, you want to make sure that your queen is clearing out defenses. Underneath the Angry Jelly, she mainly focuses on that. So try to take advantage of open wall segments. If you need to use a super wall breaker, still do so. It's a good investment. And otherwise, you do want to make sure that you are using your invisibility spells to protect your heroes, the Queen and Warden, from too much damage, especially something like a ricochet cannon, which can hit both of them. Other than that, once the Angry Jelly kind of expires and there are a few other buildings that you can remove in terms of creating better pathing, you can then kind of clear them using any invisibility spells that you have left over, but you can recall them back. And this should clear a fairly large area off the base, which should also allow you to then use them with something like Root Riders, where you can have them power through and support the push right after funneling. This overall lets the charge be faster than a Royal Champion charge thanks to the Archer Queen's boosted damage, along with help from the Grand Warden, but also is much safer, enabling you to use equipment and pets that allow her to offer better survivability for herself and more overall support for your army. Now, in the case that you're dealing with an invisibility spell tower, when using this charge, how do you deal with that? Well, you have a few options depending on what you're bringing. If you have a skeleton spell, using one invisibility spell and one skeleton spell to damage any building around the invisibility spell tower will cause it to go off, allowing you to spring it early so you can avoid dealing with invisible defenses. However, you can also use an ice block spell to freeze both the warden and queen in place, which will last longer than the defensive spell's duration, enabling you to keep your heroes protected and still move into the compartment without much issue. Just be sure not to use it over the healers so they can continuously heal your heroes. With a full understanding of the Warden Queen charge, you can now apply these to different strategies that can all take advantage of this unique charge. Root Riders are a great place to start as they rely on having good defensive funneling, so using this charge with or without the Angry Jelly is often safer and much quicker while being able to save the Royal Champion and her pet, like the Spirit Fox, from being removed early on. Additionally, smash attacks like Throwers or Super Yetis can use this to set up proper funneling while removing defenses, which means less damage as you send in your smash. Outside of that, avoid using it within air attacks or with troops like Super Hog Riders, as they cannot benefit from the Queen and Warden being together, which offers little value to a hero dive or to air spam. So the Warden Queen charge is clearly a new fun and strong option to start your attacks, along with plenty of equipment, pets, and strategies to choose from, in addition to being able to cut through defenses and buildings, no matter if you have the Angry Jelly or not. If you're interested in seeing if an army works with this, check out my Town Hall 15 Top 5, while YouTube says this one right here is best for you.